Which one of these could possibly be my friend for the past decade? Could be anyone.
It was either that or I call the room butts, butts, butts.
We're not above that.
I mean, it was the first thing that I thought of.
I keep bringing up this damn emote menu and I don't know what to do about it.
Yeah, it's if you press down on the D-pad, then it comes up. And to get rid of it, you need to hit left.
If we leave the giant insects alone, they will continue to evolve.
It is deeply annoying.
We have to wipe them out.
I'm still Valkyrie.
Yeah, you're a wing diver in an underground mission. This is going to be fun.
I'm a genius. And I only just figured out what the jump button is.
But then again, I also have a missile launcher which launches rockets into the air in an underground section, so I'm not really that much better.
Yep, we did not think this through. Thankfully, we're still in the easy part of the game.
Yeah. I think there's 50 or 60 missions in this game, and it does take a while for it to actually start getting difficult, thankfully.
Yep. Happy Fruits Cake Fair. You could enjoy that at Cake House Nishimura. I'm just going to be super great friend and ignore all the action in favor of reading signage. Casual shop Karen.
Growing strong and healthy. Minmo.
What are the odds?
I was actually looking for t-shirts on Redbubble the other day, and they have Minmo t-shirts with the actual graphic. And I'm like, I need to get one of these someday.
Yeah, I'm surprised more people don't just, you know, sell that image.
Oh yeah, you could.
At this point, barely copyrighted.
Yeah, there's tons of people that have made stickers and shirts out of it, and I'm like, I need one so bad.
Yeah. My character is ridiculously fast compared to all you ground-based people.
Oh, you think that's bad? Try, I think it's the Fencer or the Lancer. I forget what the name changes depending on the game. You're basically a walking armory. You start off dual-wielding quad chain guns.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the Fencer does not fuck around. But they also have the speed of a tanker ship and about the same kind of turning circle. They really need one of the support classes that can call in vehicles in order to be remotely useful.
Sounds fun for co-op, maybe.
Oh yeah. If you get 4 people playing, then one of them basically needs to be one of the support classes, because they can call in tanks, jeeps, all that kind of stuff. Airstrikes as well later on.
It's weird that they downgraded us to just fighting ants. Ants are not a threat.
At this point, I think they're meant to be tunneling underneath cities in order to sink them.
That's certainly a plan that bugs might come up with.
Yep. There's a couple of missions where we're basically forced into taking out nests and hives. Which, the first time you play them, they're genuinely quite creepy at times.
This thing. That sounds like it could be some fun bio horror.
Oh, yeah.
Not quite body horror.
The
Giant spider-like bug. Crap.
like the EDF games are unapologetically cheesy, but like if you actually look at them objectively, like they are genuinely horrifying in places.
Yeah.
But the entire thing is always done. Well, except for 6, I think, which is one of the most recent ones, which plays it incredibly straight, and the game suffers as a result.
Jumping spiders.
Turns out when you play something like this exceptionally straight, like a M. Night Shyamalan movie, it just isn't as much fun.
True. Hey, jumping spiders are actually kind of tearing me up here. I don't know why. I don't know what they're doing.
The webs that they fire are actually damaging.
Ah, acid webs.
Yep.
Should have known. So this is where knowing entomology is working against me.
Yeah, somewhere an entomologist is crying and they don't know why.
Yeah, I'm just looking at these cute bugs. Look at them.
Oh, look at the big eyes and the fucking acidic webs!
Yep. I named my file Saltacid after these guys. And here they are murdering me.
Oh, the irony. Yeah, these guys...
One guy still amped.
These guys are really, really horrible to fight. Especially in the underground map, because there's quite a few.
Mm-hmm. They do have a distinct advantage, and they have really turned this level around from trivial to kind of difficult.
Yep. I remember this being like one of the first big roadblocks. Especially because because the map is so dark.
Yeah.
If your teammates can actually die, and do quite frequently. They will spawn in new guys to replace them. But because you're basically relying on one torch at any given moment, it makes it surprisingly difficult to get through the map.
Yeah, they pincered us at first. They're coming in from both sides of this little hub area. Is our goal to kill all the spiders? To, like, clear all the red dots off the map?
Yep. Most maps
Okay.
it'll be exterminate everything. Occasionally there will be take out this X, Y, or Z target. But a good 70-80% of the maps will be kill everything that moves that isn't you.
Valkyrie is still a good tool for that job. Because I'm ridiculously fast.
Yep.
Self-propelled howitzer and self-propelled rocket launcher are heading this way. Once they arrive,
The jumping spiders do not have very much HP.
No. We haven't really come across any of the particularly nasty enemies yet. This is your first wake-up call that things
Yeah.
are going to start getting difficult.
I did get down to like 1 HP there.
Yeah.
They're going to put out the aforementioned EDF-6 in non-Japanese territories very soon.
Ah.
In like spring, I think.
Yeah. I know I have another one. This is... I think it's just 5 that I've got. But yeah, the next one looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Choose loadout. Wing divers can equip
Laser lance, eh?
Choose loadout. Wing divers can equip 2 weapons.
What's the rocket
I never
launcher?
used my second weapon as this character.
Yeah, that's the one I was looking for.
I could be Mega Man. Paint myself
yeah.
blue.
Yeah, the color changes work better on some classes rather than others. Like, with me, it just basically changes what kind of camo I'm wearing. But on, like, the Fencer and the Air Diver, it looks... You can come up with some really cool looks.
All units, attack the giant insects. Don't leave This giant insect is tough. Fight carefully.
Got civilians. At purple blood for some reason.
Because they're bugs.
Ah, I forgot.
Okay, rocket launcher is definitely doing the business on this map.
I legit can't tell if my laser is doing stuff or if it's just coincidence that every time I shoot something it explodes in purple.
Could be either, could be both. Maps like this, you just fire into, you know, the center mass of whatever is happening on screen and hope for the best.
Yep, it is. Conventionally very difficult to tell what is going on in this game.
Yep. It wasn't as bad on the PlayStation 2 game, surprisingly.
Probably a lot less going on at any given time.
Yeah. The older ones that had a much lower insect count. But, you know, for the time, it was basically like just as chaotic as this.
I'll forgive you for saying insect count while we're fighting spiders.
Fine, bugs, whatever.
Just this once.
Oh, I'm sorry, I mislabeled a Drosophila.
Sorry, I didn't respect your Methuselah or whatever.
Derby derby der, look at me, I'm an entomologist.
I write fan fiction about small creatures.
I like to make bugs kiss, blah blah blah.
Not only are they releasing a new EDF game, but they actually released a new bug recently.
Oh, babe, wake up, new insect drop.
Again? Assuming it's an insect.
Fine, worm. You happy?
Yes. Thrilled. There's a new spider discovered in a cave in China. It's 5 centimeters long, and its name is Hot Wheels Sisyphus.
That sounds like a Suda 51 protagonist.
It really does. But that is its scientific name.
Like, hello,
I commissioned a picture of Hot Wheels Sisyphus.
Who was it discovered by? Gunter von Sexy Man?
Quite possibly. I forget the discoverer. It was Fred Hot Wheels and his partner, Sisyphus Jones.
Marvin von Hot Wheels. That's a name you can trust. That'll get you elected in 48 states of the Union.
Yep. If it ain't Hot Wheels, it ain't entomology. Is his business card. But yeah, I commissioned a picture of a Hot Wheels Sisyphus, and I will put it on screen in editing. Because why not?
I will pretend to react to it now. Holy crap, that is amazing. I like the little things coming out, the little tufty bits. That is so cool.
You can tell it's a Hot Wheels because its genitals are actually shaped like a Hot Wheels track, hence the name.
I mean, so are mine, but I don't see anyone giving me a parade.
Yeah, it's true. No one is giving you that parade.
Yeah, it's like the end of Born on the 4th of July, but even sadder.
There's a spider behind me. It's really hard to tell which spiders are alive and which ones are dead.
Yeah, that's always been a thing. I think in order to keep the frame count up, and to make sure that the entire thing doesn't come wheezing to a halt, they don't make the spiders jib more, you know, effectively. Because there's already enough body parts flying around.
Yeah, they should have all 8 legs flying off every time they get hit with an explosion and stuff.
Yeah. Or, I don't know, have it turn black and charred.
Yeah. Any indicator. of their being dead, really.
Yeah. One of the few things, the few complaints I have about the series as a whole, because, like, genuinely, as I've said before, I love this series to bit just because of how silly it is. The 5 and its update, it went the wrong direction by trying to make you take everything seriously rather than just playing it like a B-movie, which, nah, dude. That's not how you do an EDF game.
Seriously.
On the
You
whole,
can't hear Vincent Price saying it, then you don't want it in your
Yep.
EDF game.
funny because Jameson Price is actually one of the main voice actors for this.
Oh, like an actual member of Vincent Price's family?
No, just similar name. He's just, just some guy that happens to share a name. No big deal.
Fair enough.
But yeah, he's one of those guys you recognize his voice because he has been in everything.
I immediately brought up the emote list again.
Yep. You've got a shotgun, which surprisingly winds up working incredibly well once you get some of the better ones.
Mm-hmm. I love this preview image of a dead soldier crammed through a railing.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Oh, he's not dead, he's rolling.
Yeah, believe it or not, this is actually a prequel to the Yakuza series.
I believe it, considering where Yakuza's gone.
Yeah, I was torn between getting Persona 3 Reload and the new Yakuza game. Because those are typically games I always get day one. But ultimately I had to go with my first love, Persona, because I'm a filthy, filthy fanboy.
Yeah, I mean, Persona 3 is the last really good one.
It's the last one that, like, everyone, it's the last one that everyone can agree that, yes, that was the good one. Like, 4, I personally didn't like. 5, loved the gameplay, but it's starting to, like, the characters and so forth are starting to get repetitive, which is, like, a big cardinal sin for me.
Yeah, I hated 5.
But yeah, the remake, I put in literally like 150 to 200 hours into Persona 3 way back in the day. And playing the new version feels weird.
I would imagine, yeah. Persona 3 is actually the hardest game that I've ever beaten because I played it on hard mode.
Yeah. Yeah, cannot recommend that, especially if it's like the first time you've ever played a Mega 10 game at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I logged like 80 or 90 hours in it, but that was not including times where I lost like 7 hours to a death.
Yeah, my final counter was about 150 hours. But when it comes to like long RPGs, I usually add about 10% for times when I just walked away and did something else.
Yeah.
And for Mega 10 games in general, when I fucked up and wound up getting myself killed. So my final counter said about 150, but in reality it's probably closer to 200.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, the voice actors are all new, but they sound ridiculously like the original cast, which kind of makes you wonder why they bothered.
Seriously, that is a weird choice.
Yeah. Tara Platt played Mitsuru, and I think it's Allegra Clark who's playing her now, and her delivery and even the pitch of her voice sounds nigh identical. It is weird. Like wandering into an alternate reality where, you know, all the cast was just ever so slightly different.
Yeah. I watched that, part of that Trigun remake series where they got Johnny Young Bosch back, and I was like, wow, they got a really good Johnny Young Bosch imitator.
And reminds me of when what you call him? Who's that one voice actor that gets all the prestige roles because he was in The Last of Us?
You lost me.
He was one of his first.
Nick Offerman?
Sorry?
Nick Offerman?
No, the game. No, not the TV show for one. Troy Baker. Yeah, that's it.
There
Troy
we
Baker.
go.
One of his first big roles was actually in Persona 4.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and he was in the original version, but everything he's done since has been done by Matt Mercer, who for a while was basically the guy you got if you wanted to get Troy Baker in but didn't have Troy Baker money. And eventually he stopped taking those roles because he was like, I don't want to be his fucking understudy. Which
They revoiced Persona 4 as well.
He did some of the stuff for Persona 4 Golden, I think, which was the Vita remake, and he took over the role for they did 2 shows, one which covered the original game and one which covered some of the extra stuff from Golden. But yeah, he basically took over the role. And the thing is that surprisingly, Troy Baker has been like, yeah, I know that like I command like a stupidly high wage these days, but like genuinely, if you ask me back to do kanji for any Persona 4 stuff, I'd happily do it. So, you know, like, respect to the guy. He's not above, you know, going back to his roots and in a way that doesn't sound completely dickish. Should make him one of the minorities.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, voice actors tend to be pretty cool, and they recently got utterly fucked over by SAG-AFTRA, so support your local voice actors.
Yeah. Yeah, a whole bunch of them. For anyone that doesn't know, one of the things which they were especially concerned about during the strikes was AI ripping their voices off. And the end of the recent talks, provisions can, for some strange reason, just completely skipped over the voice actors union when it came to that.
Yeah.
Also,
it looks like SAG-AFTRA actually like hung them out to dry as part of their concessions to get like quote-unquote real actors the best possible deal.
Yep. It seems like they just basically went, okay, you give us this, we will totally, you know, fuck over voice actors in video games and animation. And yeah, a lot of people just being like, why the fuck did I pay my dues? Oh.
Look at my shoes. They're wheelies.
Using your wheelies to hide from your feelies.
Yep. Don't get a good look at that when we're actually playing the game.
Coming over as quickly as I can, but it's gotten a bit spidery.
Yeah, that's why I'm dead.
Like, these guys are
I have the ability to...
These guys are yeeting themselves into my path. It's really quite disturbing.
They're jumping spiders, they'll jump.
Ah, hence the name.
Yep.
Okay,
I wasn't even sure there was like a resurrection mechanic.
Yeah, it says press the vehicle rescue button, and I'm like, I don't actually know what that is.
Ah, yes. Love these low-budget games. And they're failing to explain themselves.
Like,
I mean, as long as the action is happening on top of my corpse, I'm fine with it.
There's lots of bugly explosions occurring right now.
Yep, I'm getting showered in purple Kool-Aid.
There we go.
Hey, I'm alive.
It's Circle.
Thank you. It is Circle. Just like Dead Rising.
Yeah, would have been nice if they'd mentioned that, but apparently...
Seriously.
Like we've got.
I don't like how low my health is.
Yeah, at least the one good thing is that Arachnid Carnage dropped a good load of health.
Yeah, but I was dead for all of it, so I missed my chances. All my attacks have such a short range, even my laser lance.
Yep. You will get plasma pistols later on, which have a decent amount of range.
Yeah.
And they will make you think you're playing Halo. Like, you literally get like a handheld plasma dispenser that looks like one of the Covenant plasma pistols.
Emergency transmission from Command HQ. We have a big problem. The Ravager fleet is on the move.
What'd you say?
They have left the moon for the Earth.
Damn it. Who has the means to fight off 10 motherships? Even with the EDF's increased strength, we don't have the manpower.
Tracking systems at all locations are locked on. All silos, open. Missiles, ready to launch.
Startup sequence of a quarter linear cannon has commenced. We will try to defeat the motherships by aiming for their atmospheric entry.
When the linear cannon fires, the long-distance temperature...
Man, this is a lot of incoherent technobabble.
Let me sum it up for you. Giant spaceships on their way. Has anyone seen Independence Day?
Ravagers from the moon are coming,
Yep.
and I guess that's bad.
Oh, it's really bad.
Well, I'm not familiar with any type of bug called Ravagers, so I'm not worried. Why should I be? Uh-oh. We got, Orb Weavers again.
Yep.
Choose loadout. Wing divers can equip 2 weapons.
How do you level up guns?
If I remember correctly, you level up gun by picking up previous gun. So, like, it says level next to it. So the easy plasma launcher you've got there, if you pick up another one, then that will level it up. I think it really just gives it slightly more damage and faster reload and ammo. So it's half the time leveling up a weapon isn't as good as just getting a new weapon.
Yeah, I would have to imagine, actually. I've been encouraged to try out this laser gun that I have.
Choose loadout. Wing divers can equip 2
Yeah, those ones, if I remember correctly, the longer you keep the beam on an enemy, the more damage it will do.
That sounds like it has a high potential.
Really good against boss monsters.
I sure hope both of these weapons are good for me. So I've completely changed my loadout.
deploying.
So I think I said last time, but one of the big problems with the EDF series in general is that you will get one really good weapon that will carry you for like a big chunk of the game, but you won't get anything else. Or you will get absolutely nothing and just be scrambling for anything halfway decent for ages. There's never any real middle ground with the EDF games.
This thing takes a lot of sniper shots. That's a bad sign.
Yeah, sniper weapons in this game aren't actually as great as you might think, especially for the Rangers.
Wow, that took forever.
I don't know if the Orb Weavers get like a damage reduction while they're on the webs, but once I actually got the spider down, it was like 3 shotgun rounds and it was done.
Yeah, it often seems like the process of taking down the web also just hits the spider a bunch of times,
Usually, yeah.
and in so doing reduces their health pool.
Yeah, surprisingly, there isn't a lot of information out there about the behind-the-scenes stuff of the EDF games. Kind of weird, can't imagine why.
These weapons are not going well for me.
Probably doesn't help that we're also getting overrun with ants now.
Yeah, and I can't, like, get a shot on this web that I'm stuck on, because it's a 2D plane. And I can only see it from the side.
There you go.
Freedom with 3 HP left.
Yeah, well, it's one of the problems with the wing diver is that she gets stuck on webs. I think
She
she's
sure
the only
does.
class that can.
The mothership fleet is beginning to drop to Earth.
Like, I can run into a web, but I can still move around on it.
Determined now.
Ah.
Our aircrafts are being stopped by the mothership air defense system and cannot get close. Long-distance attack is our best option.
Linear cannon discharged.
Well, not a death store anymore.
Impact.
Excellent.
Take that.
We did it.
Okay.
Linear cannon is recharging.
Oh, the poor squeaky sound that the Orc Weavers make as they're being killed. Apparently, barking spider is a Canadian euphemism for farting.
I thought it was one of the units you could get in the Metal Gear game.
Well, it is an actual spider in Australia. So I was listening to a podcast about spiders, and one person was from Canada, one was from Australia, and they confused one another by making a fart joke.
Did the Australian actually say he didn't come to fuck spiders?
He did not, but he could have, because I know what that euphemism means as well.
Linear cannon discharged again.
Yeah, it's weird that Australians, people are always confused as to why the Australians and Scottish people get along so well. And it's gonna let everyone in on a secret, because we both love taking the piss out of people. I remember a friend of mine, we had a guy up from England. I can't remember whereabouts it was that he was from.
Enemies not
But he just come into an inheritance, and my friend he works. He's always wanted to get into stuff like hedge funds and so forth. This, I should point out as well, this was back in about 2007, before hedge fund investor was basically on a par with baby eater.
Yeah.
Had to change my words there very quickly when I realized where I was going with that joke, but anyway. You people out there are smart. You can fill in the blank.
What's going on?
But yeah, so he was basically saying, you know, like, I can help you invest this money. I can, you know, do this, and this. And to be fair, my friend is actually like very good at that sort of stuff. So when he was basically saying like, yeah, here's what I can do for you. And he's like, the other guy was like, I don't know if I'm really sold. And it's like, okay, let me tell you about sporrans. A sporran is part of a kilt. It's a little sort of pouch that sits in the front.
cannon impact.
And he
Damage.
went in completely off the top of his head with a 15-minute talk about what each part of the sporran represented, along with the kilt in general. And like there's like little balls on the front
Enemy no damage.
that represents
Attacks are being obstructed by
landmarks of manhood, that sort of thing. The dagger, the ski and do you use to like, yes, it is meant to be purely decorative, but can also like there's certain different types you can get for, you know, if you've survived a number of hardships, challenges, blah blah blah. Goes through this whole thing. And the guy's like, wow, I had absolutely no idea about any of that. And he's like, yep, you absolutely didn't. because it's all bollocks. I made it up right on the spot. And he's like,
It's just to keep the gust of wind from flashing your cock to people.
basically. And when we actually went out into battle, we wore full-length ballroom gowns. But yeah, he basically went through this whole thing, and he was like, "You believed every single word I said there, didn't you?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "And that is how I can talk people into helping you get the results you want." And he was like, "Okay, so where do I sign up?" If I remember
Yep,
correctly,
that is...
like
That's tech pro language right there.
Yep. If I remember, basically he's like a non-evil tech bro. That's the best way to describe him. He was basically was trying to get him to. No, I say trying to get him. What they were talking about was investing in a comic shop, starting one up. And like he just didn't believe that my friend Keith could actually do any of the stuff that he said. He was like, "Check this shit out." 10 minutes later, he's like, "Okay, I'm convinced now." Sadly, it all
I
wound
do
up.
love bullshitting.
Yep. Sadly, it all wound up falling through at the end. Which is a shame because I was like this close to actually working in a comic and gaming shop, and it would have been amazing.
They tend to, end up being like clerks at the end of the day.
I mean, I'm not gonna
But
lie.
a nice independent shop, you could end up like a comic book guy, but less of a dick.
I mean, we were one of the. It was basically going to be like an all-in-one nerdery. So we were going to be running tabletop games, selling comics, selling merch. Because this was back in about 2006, when stuff like Funkos were just coming into the scene.
Gross.
So like the idea was essentially we were going to be ahead of the curve on that. Unfortunately, the guy who was going to be investing the money turned out to be a bit of a bell end. So it
you gotta watch out for that.
entirely. Yep. He was one of those guys who would say incredibly horrible things just to get a reaction. But if you messed him around, then he would be like, "Oh, okay, well, fuck you. I'm just going to leave and not talk to you for 8 months."
Hey, Tyrone Rodriguez from, what is it? Nicholas. Exactly the same guy.
Yep. Do not have the time, the patience, or the ability to indulge people like that anymore. So
Yeah,
fuck 'em.
seriously.
Like
Indeed.
it's nice that we have to dance to your tune, but your taste in music sucks.
There's a local comic shop in the city I just moved to that pays its employees in store credit.
So that's great if you're like 16, 17, not if you like eating food.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said when I heard that. And I'm pretty sure it's illegal. So they probably shifted that policy somewhat to avoid lawsuits.
Yeah. I mean, that's only marginally better than paying people in exposure, because at least you're getting something, but Jesus.
Seriously.
It's actually, speaking of comic shops, there was a comic shop just at the city centre, about 20 minutes away from where I live right now. And unfortunately, they had to close down due to damage to the shop. Apparently, it's actually in the shopping mall. But apparently, the structural integrity of the building is absolutely atrocious. So they've been dealing with like leaks and so forth for years. So unfortunately, they're closing down this month, but they are reopening in the town that I just moved from a couple of years ago.
That's good for them, at least.
I was just like,
You don't want to be in a mall anyway. So.
it's just like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. One of my friends who still lives in the town I used to live in, he's just like, "This is amazing. We haven't had a comic shop here in years." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fucking stoked for you."
My area actually just opened one down the street, so...
Hey, everyone's getting comic shops except for me.
Yep.
Oh yeah, if you look up, you can see the Ravager spacecraft.
Ooh, I want to see that. Unfortunately, up is a very vast world.
Yeah, trust me, you'll know it when you see it.
There it is.
Yep.
Oh, it's even got, like, enterprises.
Yep. Yeah, remember when I made that joke about Independence Day?
Yep, it's doing the occasional Independence Day.
Yeah, those support craft, we will be fighting them.
Nice. It's like some kind of shadow of new despair up there.
Yeah. 4.1.
4.1 even.
I think each of the games is actually supposed to follow on from each other, but no one really cares about the plot in these games beyond they are bugs, killy dem ass.
Mm-hmm.
So if I remember correctly, the Ravagers, this is like their second or third time around trying to destroy the Earth. And they've gotten better at it.
Could have just tied it into Mass Effect and called them Breavers.
I mean, it does predate Mass Effect by about 4 or 5 years.
Acid soda. Try some today.
Giant insects are being dropped from the Ravager's transport ship.
But they are now airdropping ants on us.
Oh, I should probably pay attention instead of trying to get myself to drink hallucinogenic soda. Which, to be fair, I totally would.
Acid cola, taste a tingle.
Yeah, I think I would love the world of EDF. Giant bugs walking down the street and acid soda anytime you want it.
It's all fun and games until someone loses a pupa.
And you get to be a Valkyrie.
Yeah, but that iron-plated miniskirt looks like it might chafe if you sit in it wrong.
Well, yeah. You'd want to make some modifications besides just the color of it.
This is great and all, but I can't actually sit without having like my legs up in the air. Seems a little suggestive, not gonna lie.
I love the exhaust pipes that are like pigtails on my character every time I'm flying.
Flying drones are being deployed from the
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like they were going for a certain mood and they nailed it.
Yep. Very Japanese mood on that.
Yep. It's the typical thing of the female character designs clearly have had about 10 times the amount of work put into them versus anything else in the game.
Yep. I'm stuck in a bug leg.
So yeah, giant insects didn't work, so now we're fighting spacecraft.
What is that green missile doing?
That's mine.
Is it attacking these triangle things?
Yep, it's looking for a friend for the end of the world. Which it's going to cause.
What is this thing? Well, it doesn't matter now, it crashed into a building.
So yeah, now we're fighting the Ravagers directly. This is where things get annoying because these spacecraft get knocked around by everything.
Yeah, they're pinballing all over the place.
Yep.
It is a bit of a problem.
Explosive weapons are both good and bad. simply because they will, like, they're weak, but they will get knocked around. And if you manage to get a big cluster of them together, then you can take out like a dozen in one go. But good luck actually getting a bunch of them together in one place to do that.
Yeah, they started out clumped, but they seem to have declumped.
Yep. I don't think the Wing Diver gets much in the way of AoE explosives for a while. Get a couple
Yeah,
of,
I mean, I have like plasma grenades. I haven't taken them with me though.
Yeah, grenades in this game are not great. They're genuinely one of the weaker weapon types that you can get, which is disappointing. But yeah, you'll get like explosive plasma launchers later on, which are pretty decent. But not for a while, and even then, you know, random drop, good luck with that.
Yeah. Oh, we got the Reavers.
Yes, sir. EDF is proud of never showing our backs to the enemy. Got it?
Hooray, I got more grenades.
Think I got another. There's one gun that I've got that's incredibly powerful, but also like ridiculously slow. Like you get 10 rounds for it, and then it has to reload.
Wing divers can equip
Yeah.
two weapons.
Versus the 200 round, but not exactly strong assault rifle that I've got.
Oh, we met the new flying non-bug monsters. And saw a big weird spaceship. That's probably a good place to call it for now.
Yeah, that works for me.
Nice. We will be back to see what the giant spaceship creatures really want to do to us.
Well, according to the next stage, the mothership is launching flying drones that appear to be targeting people indiscriminately. They act as terrifying slaughter machines that never tire and must be stopped before they eliminate all the civilians. Presumably the ones that haven't been eaten by spiders or ants yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's at least
Well,
6
we like
somewhere.
civilians. Yeah. We'll probably stop that rather effortlessly when we return to EDF 4.1 Shadow of Newsfare.